Welcome everyone to the deep dive for the blue glider pipe. Now this is the first 30 pipe that's been introduced into Mario Kart Tour in quite some time. We had the tricolor Yoshi pipe back in the Paris 3 Tour, and before that it was the heavy duty kart pipe. For today's pipe, I'll be taking a look at the items, what value they can present to your account, as well as the various strategies that you can implement that are ideal for your specific situation in the game. Now, starting with the items that are in the pipe, there is a selection of 5 high-end gliders. We have the Blizzard Parasol, the Blizzard Balloons, the Snow Crystals, the Polka-Dot Manta Glider, and the brand new Galaxy Glider. The Blizzard Parasol has 17 tracks of value, 16 of which are assumed value. And the assumed value tracks are the ones that are not city or nitro based, which would be your New Yorks, Tokyos, as well as Ninja Hideaway or Merry Mountain. But as we see here, the Blizzard Balloons has 16 tracks of value, all 16 of which are assumed, which is very good. However, the count is not tremendous. And then we get into the Snow Crystals, which has 22 tracks of total value, but 6 of which are nitro and city-based, which means only 16 of them are assumed. So really, the value of all of these gliders are fairly consistent. The Polka-Dot Manta Glider has 25 tracks, but we saw in my first look preview of this, in the detailed look, that 10 of them are city-based tracks. So that brings the assumed track count all the way down to 15. Now what is good is for this Galaxy Glider, all 8 of its starting tracks are assumed value. And moving forward, we will see what the coming tours have to offer. And if they are not city-based, it will acquire a majority assumed value tracks. The next bit of analysis I want to show is the overlap that exists within this pipe among the items in play. And it is really striking just how much of the coverage is overlapped between these gliders. And what I want to do alongside presenting this information is to caution you into running up a massive high-end total from this pipe, because this is a pipe, since it is a 30 pipe with 3 high ends, in which you can obtain a large number of high ends with just a basic amount of rubies that you're willing to spend. However, by doing so, what kind of value is that really generating for your account? Because oftentimes when you pull on the pipe, a high end is just a win, right? But what is that item actually providing for your account? If we see here on the right in the chart, 50% or more of the coverage for most of these gliders is covered by one of, if not more than one of, the other gliders in this pipe, which means that if you're pulling on this, you're likely going to be investing into just one of these gliders, the one that helps your account the most, particularly if your account is in a state where you can't just invest into everything, right? You will have to pick the one that provides your account with the most coverage, and that will essentially counterfeit the value of the other ones. Now, if your account is in a privileged situation and you can invest either more rubies in order to level up all of the gliders, or more tickets to obtain that niche selection of tracks. As you can see, they all do possess some amount of unique track coverage compared to the other gliders in this pipe. So that is something I really want to frame when you are going into this pipe, and to determine where you stand on just what these items mean to your account. I talked with a turtle dude who developed a simulator for determining pipe outcomes, and the benefit of this is that you can run an enormous set of trials, such as 10,000 trials, to really gauge what is going on in the pipe as you use your rubies, as you're targeting these specific numbers. And ultimately, in this pipe, if you are targeting just one high end, With a 10-pull strategy, you were going to average 2.7 high ends per 94 rubies spent, compared to that of doing a single pull strategy, in which case you would obtain 1.4 high ends for an average of 48 rubies spent. And ultimately, this amounts to a difference of 1.3 high ends per 46 rubies, or 1 high end in every 35 rubies spent. Alternatively, if your goal is to obtain 5 high ends from this pipe, you will, on average, across 10,000 trials, expect to encounter 5.7 high ends in 194 rubies spent with a 10-pull strategy, compared to that of 5.4 high ends for 179 rubies spent in a single pull strategy. Ultimately, what this amounts to is a 0.3 high-end difference per 15 rupees spent. So if you're looking to obtain an extra high-end, that would cost 50 extra rupees to do in a single pull strategy. Therefore, if you're trying to chase maximum high-end value, the optimal pathway forward in a pipe of this kind would be through a 10-pull strategy, not a single pull strategy. But bear in mind, based on my earlier analysis, that I don't feel that this pipe is optimal for a maximum high-end pulling strategy, right? That you're going to want to target specific items in this pipe and then get out. Therefore, I would recommend single pulls in a pipe of this kind for a great many of you out there, because you'll obtain high-end value on average earlier than you will, which is to say in fewer rubies than you would with a 10-pull strategy. And ultimately, you are going to be looking to invest into one particular, or perhaps two particular items in this set of gliders, and not the entire cast of gliders overall. Now let's take a look at the details of the blue glider pipe. As we can see, there are no spotlights, so you're going to have an equal probability of obtaining any one of these gliders, right? And these non-spotlight gliders, I use the terminology bottomless pit, because you can get them on your first single pull, or you can pull hundreds of rubies worth of pulls in order to obtain the one glider that you want. So please be advised that one result for one individual may not be reproducible for your own account, and that's why I present the probability to you, and why we go through the trouble of doing these kinds of mass trial runs to see just what the average outcomes are, given the full range of outcomes that are possible. So here we go. The big thing that I want to draw emphasis to in this pipe is that the entire contents of the pipe are not glider based, right? We see here in the super and normal distributions that there are in fact drivers and carts in the mix, and this is actually a major turnoff for a number of players out there, particularly players who are looking to max out their daily select. So if you are a new player, a free-to-play player, a late entry gold pass player, this actually stings quite a bit. And the reason for that is because if you think of your rubies in terms of the conversion factor for coins per ruby, then you want to be using your rubies in a way so that when you do hit those missed pipes where you're getting a green pipe perhaps and the items are just normals and supers, that they are directly contributing to an end game strategy for your account. And when the entire distribution is with gliders as the items, they are all being funneled directly into that end game solution for your account. But given that we have drivers and carts, and the selection of these items is more bloated in the daily selects, it is not greatly contributing to your end game in terms of unlocking your shop and your ticket potential there. So this pipe is strictly for the value of the high-end gliders. And as such, what are your odds then for obtaining this brand new Galaxy glider? Or perhaps the snow crystals? We're going to take a look at that in the calculator right now, since we know that we have a pool of 5 high-end gliders in this pipe. And if we do a drain, there's 3 high-end gliders, right? And I always preface this by saying I deal with the worst case scenarios, right? So if you are doing a single pole strategy and you obtain a high-end glider in your 3rd or 4th single pole, you are going to reset that pipe. Absolutely. However, the high ends could just as easily be the last 3 items in your pipe, right? Number 28, 29, and 30 in the pipe. It's definitely possible. And that's the outcome that I say, let's look at a complete drain of the pipe, so that way we can get an idea for just what are the minimum odds for you to obtain these items. So we're going to start off with just targeting that Galaxy glider. So we're going to go with 1 minus, and then 4 of the items in the pipe are not the Galaxy glider, right, of the high-end variety. So we'll go with 4 divided by 5, and then we raise that to the power of 3, since those are the 3 high ends that we will be obtaining from a single drain of this pipe. And we can see the odds then of obtaining the Galaxy glider in 135 rubies would be 48.8%, which is not very good, mind you. Certainly you want that number to be greater than 50% at a minimum, because that's the point where you're at plus expected value if you are to make that move continuously over the long term, right? That's why I can come on and recommend single pole strategy for you as an potentially optimal play style, because it is greater than 50% to obtain a high end in 8 single poles, which is 40 rubies, which is the maximum required to still be beating the pipe odds as if you were doing a 45 10 pole. So then let's see, if you commit to 2 pipe drains, then what would the odds be for obtaining the Galaxy glider? Well, we'll do the same 1 minus 4 divided by 5, but then this time the target number of high ends would be 6, right? So raise that to the power of 6. And there we can see that the odds are 73.8%. So essentially, if you want nearly a 3-to-1 chance to obtain the Galaxy glider, you will have to commit 270 rubies into this pipe just to have that approximate 3-to-1 chance to obtain the glider. But 3-to-1 isn't a guarantee, of course. And to illustrate that, let's just say we'll throw in 3 drains of the pipe. So this would be for 405 rubies. We do 1 minus 4 divided by 5, and we raise that to the power of 9 now, 3 drains, and still the odds are only 86.6% in order to obtain the Galaxy glider in 405 rubies. So, and what does 86% actually mean? That might be just some arbitrary number to those out there. Well, let's just say if 100 of us are in a room here, and that would mean that on average, mind you, not exactly reproducible every time. With probability there will always be variance, but on average 14 individuals out of the 100 could spend 405 rubies and still not obtain that Galaxy glider. Okay, and therein is why I call it a bottomless pit, because it will happen to more people than you can realize, even with odds as good as this. So as always, folks, I want you to be very careful when going into this pipe. Consider what these items mean to your account, because it could cost that many rubies in order to obtain them. So I want to make sure that that has significant value to you. Otherwise, it's going to be incredibly hurtful, and you know that there's going to be very nice pipes coming up in the near future. We have the holiday tours coming out. There will be New Year's in just a month. So consider everything, all of the information that's at your disposal, and as always, I will help you out. Write me a comment, let me know what you're looking at in your own gameplay experience. The more information you give me, the better advice I can provide you with in the comments. So thank you very much for all of that. Now, as for my game, let's just go into the final challenge, and I'll do the all clear pipe pull with you guys here. So the big reverse race. Well, we're going to definitely go with Dixie Kong. We're on Royal Raceway, right? So we want to go with the Ramby, and we'll go with this banana glider. We'll put it on 100cc. All right, very good. Let's see what Dixie can do. Mega Mushroom to start us off. And I'm going to take this little shortcut here. Very nice. I'll take the second shortcut here. A lot of shortcuts on Royal Raceway, but unfortunately I only picked up one shroom there, so can I get a snipe? Nope. Actually, that might be able to carry me. Yeah, it did. Wow. Very nice. So we just have one person to beat, which should be easy, given that we're only halfway through. Forward bomb spam. Very nice. Got that triple banana protection, so we should be good. All right, very nice. I certainly know how to race with Dixie Kong. She is my main in multiplayer. So there we go. All cups cleared. Congrats. And we're on Rainbow Road here. So DK Jr., there's my coin limit break champion there, King Bob-omb Gold. Lots of Rambys in play. That's been the little bit of fun that I've had coming on and racing daily. So what do I want to see in this pipe? Certainly we saw Funky Kong in there. Pulling him would take him to level 7, but also, given that the Sunset Balloons just entered the all-clear pipe, that would be really fun to pull here as well. Otherwise, I'm game for pretty much anything here. I'm taking a step back from the competitiveness of the game, and I'm just enjoying things a bit. So pretty much anything is fine by me here. So let's pull on it and see what we got. Okay, the Steel Driver, that's pretty cool. I've come on and said that I wanted this card many times in the past. It's been in several pipes, and it does open up new course coverage for my account. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's a massive win for a pull. Fantastic. And also we clear this final challenge now. So they did this in the last tour as well. I don't mind it, but certainly if you hadn't been saving your quick tickets before they started with this final challenge, requiring you to clear all of the cups in order to obtain the quick ticket, that is a difficult situation. So I hope that they can alternate this challenge in the future, just to give players an opportunity to build a small little reservoir of quick tickets if they need them. So there we go. I hope everyone has wonderful luck, whether you are pulling on the blue glider pipe or not. It definitely gets the KG seal of approval here. Otherwise, good luck on your all clear pipes and in ranked mode. So I'll be seeing you all. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It really means the world to me. And I'll be looking forward to talking with all of you in the comments as always. Take care.